Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing Fractured Plane. Let's do this.
So I think this may actually be the first video I've ever made for Fractured Plane. It's quite a long and time consuming game mode, and generally, as you will have already noticed, I try to keep my videos under kind of 15 minutes long, simply because I know that a lot of the time people just want quick guides to things. And although I could put loads and loads of detail in my videos, I generally try and keep things top line just so that it's easier to scroll through and find the information that you're after. However, with Fractured Plane, this isn't possible to do. So today we're going to be running through the whole thing with this, and basically I'll talk you through what I'm doing as we go. So before we kick off, I just wanted to apologise again for how I sound. I am still unwell and I'm a little bit congested, as you can probably hear. So for Fractured Plane, it is a limited time event. In total there are 12 levels, and within each level there are different zones, as you can see by the minimap. So you need to complete a zone to unlock the next area, and there will be different challenges on each one. Some of them will have mobs like this, some of them will have blessings, some of them will have chests, and some of them have treasure goblins. So the treasure goblin ones are the most fun ones to do. Upon completing each zone, you will get this chest open, and you'll get the chance to choose chaos coins or a gear essence or gear piece, because at the moment we don't actually have any gear equipped. So this one we have a chaotic altar, and we get to choose a blessing. So we've got Windloft Perfection, we've got primary attack damage increased by 15% or dodge chance increased by 10%. So unfortunately these blessings are kind of sucky for what we've got equipped, but we're going to go for Windloft anyway. So that is level 1 completed already, and you can see it's done within a few moments, literally under 2 minutes, and we've already completed that. So here I've got some different gear that we can go for from the Chaos Broker. We've got a couple of chests, we've got an offhand, and we've got some pants as well. I'm going to go for this chest, and that is my first piece of gear. Unfortunately, I do not have enough Chaos coins to get a second piece of gear, and we're going to just, hope for the best here. So the skills that we have for Fractured Plane today, we've got Meteor, Arcane Wind, Ray of Frost, and Lightning Nova as well. This isn't necessarily the best selection of skills together, and sometimes it can be really hard to get the kind of build that you want in Fractured Plane, because it won't necessarily give you all of the essences for that skill, or it won't necessarily give you the essence that you're looking for that skill. For example, I have never seen Sprite Spark as a chest in Fractured Plane. It generally seems to just have a lot of the older essences, I find. I don't know if it's just not been updated for a while with regards to the essences that are available and the gear that's available in this, but generally it is the older gear pieces, like I said. Now, one thing that is good with Fractured Plane is that if you are not familiar with different skills and different essences, it does give you a chance to try them out. So sometimes there's a few essences that I've used for the first time ever in Fractured Plane, because I've never actually chosen to use them in a build. But also, if you're someone that's looking to class change, Fractured Plane is actually a great time to do this, because it will give you an idea of how different skills work, what essences are available for that class, and it does drop a lot of legendary gear. So upon the first completion, for the first time of Fractured Plane, the first 12 levels you complete, you get like 4 legendary gear pieces. So it is definitely worth doing, and definitely beneficial if you are looking to class swap as well. So that is level 2 now completed. I'm not completely happy with the chest essence we went for, so hopefully we might be able to find a better one at the Chaos Broker or a little bit later on, because we still don't have many Chaos coins here. We've got just 168 Chaos coins. Let's see if there is anything decent that we can take. So I've decided to pay for the Shard of Fortune, so this will give us hopefully better gear pieces. And I might go for this chest. This is Coat of the Astrum, and this basically has Lightning Nova releasing a wild arc, and what this will do is this will strike enemies, and it seems a lot stronger than the one that I already had equipped. So level 3, we have to face off against a boss, and we have a Dugu here. So let's see what kind of damage we can get from this. Obviously, we only have a chest piece equipped for the gear so far. We've not been lucky with the gear that we've been offered from the Chaos Broker, or from the equipment rack either. And you can see the damage. We're kind of really slow at dealing damage at the moment from this build. I find Arcane Wind, when you don't have any essences on that, it's just such a lame skill. It doesn't really do any damage. Like Arcane Wind without any buffs on it is just kind of like, it just blows things out of the way. I mean, like, yeah, obviously that's not going to do loads of damage if it's just a skill that blows enemies out of the way, and obviously doesn't really have any effect, as you can see, on bosses either. So yeah, we definitely need to try and get an essence for that as we continue with Fractured Plane. We are very slowly taking Ndugu down. Hopefully we'll get a decent amount of chaos coins drop from defeating him, and we should also get the chaotic altar come up again as well, so this will give us a chance for another blessing. Hopefully we will get something good from that. But yeah, this is taking a little bit of time to take Ndugu down. Luckily I've not been taking much damage at all, but we are almost done, and you can see that Lightning Nova essence is actually really nice. It does keep striking, so I do like that one. So we've got a few more chaos coins, and we have kind of rubbish blessings again. So we've got Feasting Barons, critical hit chance increased 10%, dodge chance increased by 20%. Now normally I would go for critical hit chance, but 10% isn't really that high, so I'm going to go for the green set items again. So it says about having gear that is going to be salvaged. That is because we had a chest piece that we swapped out, and we did have the better piece equipped. So again, here I could go for the Shard of Fortune, but that is going to use up a lot of chaos coins. As we don't have that many, we have 132. So I'm going to refresh here, and we're going to go for Older Crystal. So Arcane Wind now also freezes chilled enemies. So that one should be pretty nice. And I'm going to go for Old Rustic as well. So Lightning Nova will increase my primary attack speed. So this should hopefully help us a little bit continuing on the rest of the levels. So we're now on level 4. Again, Arcane Wind, I do need to get another essence on that. Hopefully we'll be able to get, I think it's called Thistle Bloom. That is quite a nice main hand for Wizard. Obviously at the moment we've got the one, as I mentioned, we've got Old Rustic, which will increase my primary attack speed. Now, as with some of the other in-game events, for Fractured Plane you do only have 6 legendary gear pieces, so you do not have 2 main hands and 2 offhands. You just have the single main hand and the single offhand, which can make it a little bit more difficult. Oh, we've got a chest again here. I'm not sure. Okay, we had a huge leg spike there, and I'm probably going to die now because I basically took a lot of damage because of the lag. Yeah, so we're going to have to use a resurrect there. That was a little bit unfortunate. It's so disappointing when you get lag spikes like that. I did wonder why the chest wasn't opening. I thought I just misclicked, but obviously I had actually clicked it, and it's just that we had a bit of a lag spike, rubber band, whatever you want to call it. So some nice chaos coins here. Hopefully we'll be able to get some good gear in a little bit. And we also have Howler's Essence as well, so that should help us a little bit. I think that only triggers from primary attack though, and obviously with this build ideally I want to mainly use the skills rather than primary. So this is just a normal monster floor or monster room, whatever you want to call it, and hopefully we'll be able to take these down fairly quickly. We are getting some nice damage from these skills now. The Lightning Nova one is definitely OP in this. I might try it out in a build soon, especially with the new essences around Lightning Nova. It could work pretty well. So yeah, I might try that Coat of the Astrum at a later date. So we've got some more chaos coins. We've got 469 chaos coins now, and that should be able to get us some nice gear. So we'll take a little look at the Chaos Broker and see what we can get now. Now I could go for these pants, however it's not what I am kind of looking for, so I'm going to probably go for the Shard of Fortune so that we can hopefully get some better gear, and then we'll do a refresh of this and see if we can find anything better. Frostwalkers, that might be quite nice. That's Icy Meteor, so that summons an Icy Meteor. We've got Sticklebur offhand. I'm actually going to go, I think, for these pants because that should help with slowing down enemies as well. And we've got Affinity Spiral Shoulder, so Meteor now deals 35% increased damage to frozen targets, so that will help with the pants that we've gone for. So let's try this out. Let's see if this is any better now that we've got a few more essences that we can use in this build.
Step aside for your own sake.
So that combination definitely felt like it was quicker for clearing those mobs. There's no essences there that I want to go for again, so we're going to go for the chaos coins, and hopefully we can build these up again. I need to find a treasure goblin room so that we can get more coins and get some decent essences. It's super annoying having to waste so many when you refresh at the Chaos Broker, but sometimes there's just not the right essences to use in the build. So here we have some elites, so hopefully they will drop us some extra chaos coins, and I definitely need to find a good essence for Arcane Wind. At the moment it's just not impressing me at all. Like, it's just, yeah, it just seems really lame. So we do have some extra chaos coins here, and we'll probably go for, yep, chaos coins again, because there's nothing decent equipment wise there. So we're still missing a helm in this build. We have all other gear pieces, but again, I've not really seen a helm so far that would be much benefit in this build. Obviously all the essences that are available, they are meant to work together so that you can create a build that does work well. However, like I mentioned at the start, because some of them seem like they are the older essences, it's not necessarily always what I would go for if I had all the options available to me, like you do when you go to the essence transfer lady. So we still are not seeing any of these treasure goblin rooms, which kind of sucks. We've just got mobs again, and they're all normal mobs as well, so we probably won't get any extra chaos coins from this level. And I think this might be the last room that we need to clear before we go on to level 6 as well. So making quite good progress on this. Sometimes it does seem to take a really long time, but yeah, so far we are 5 levels completed and moving on to level 6. So we're back up to 491 chaos coins. I'm going to use some here for the potion, and then let's see what the chaos broker has. So I think we'll go for the shard of fortune, so this will hopefully give us some better gear. Gonna refresh this again. I'm not seeing what I want. The siphon for offhand, it's got a nice amount of stars, but it's not the essence that I want. It's only going to increase my movement speed, so that's not really going to benefit my damage at all. Again, I'm not really seeing much of what we need here, and I'm running out of chaos coins again. So we're going to go for Old Rustic. This one is 3-star, and it's going to increase our damage a little bit as well. So let's equip that one now. So do make sure when you play this that you equip the gear that you select, because otherwise you might end up losing it when you change level, like accidentally, if you haven't already equipped it. So for this boss, we've got to fight Igonicus. And this is actually one of my favourite bosses to fight in the game, because he moves so slowly and all of his attacks are kind of predictable from the movements he makes. So he's pretty easy to avoid attacks. The only one is this one that you can sometimes be a little bit harder to avoid, where he kind of summons those meteors. The skills seem to be working quite nicely. Again, I actually really like this essence for Lightning Nova. With the new essences like Trifling Piffle offhand, I think that could possibly work really nicely in PvP. So I might give that a try soon, especially with Conqueror in-game as well. It's quite a good place to test out different skills and builds, simply because everyone is technically leveled out to the same levels. So Igonicus is now down, and we've got some more chaos coins. Again, the blessings kind of suck. I'm going to go for Untouchable Mountebank again. I think, did we have that one already? I don't know. No, we've had 2 other different ones, but yeah, all of these set items in Fractured Plane, they kind of stack the effects from them. So before changing level, I was just checking there that we weren't salvaging any gear that we actually need, and we have only 200 chaos coins, so we're not going to get very far with this. Let's see if there's anything decent to use. Frostwalkers we've already got, and we've got a helm here, Cryomancer's Helm. Rare Frost range is increased by 20%. So we're going to go for that, as we are missing a helm in this build, and that will help overall a little bit. And once again, we've just got a room with some normal mobs and some blue elites as well.
You do realize you're about to die,
So we seem to take those mobs down pretty quickly, so the build is obviously coming together slightly more. I wish that offhand was Older Crystal, but sadly it is not. So let's see what this next area has. Unfortunately, it's more normal mobs and blue elites, and this is going to make it quite hard to get enough chaos coins for decent gear again. So I have actually had one time when I played Fractured Plane, and I didn't get any of the rooms with the Chaotic Altar or with the chest that drops extra coins. And I think I literally only got the Chaotic Altar from the levels with the boss monsters, so that was like the hardest one I've ever played. But obviously it is down to luck. You do have the choice of which area you want to go to within each level, and unfortunately I just had obviously chosen all the worst ones that one time, so that wasn't the best one that I've ever played. However, this isn't completely awful. We've had some fairly easy runs, and this build definitely does feel stronger now at the point we're at. So back up to 534 chaos coins now. Let's see what we can get from the chaos broker and if we can get anything better than what we're using. So unfortunately these are not ones I want to use, so we're going to upgrade again. And I'm going to run out of chaos coins again from refreshing this. It's super annoying. We've got a decent coat of the Astrum here, so we're going to go for that one because that is 4 stars now. So you can see that increases my life by a hell of a lot. And yeah, let's hope that this will make things a little bit easier. We finally have a treasure goblin room. Yes, this is what I was hoping for, and this is where that lightning nova works really nicely as well, because it's just bouncing between the different treasure goblins. So hopefully we'll be able to take a lot of these guys down and build those chaos coins back up again as well for better gear. Room cleared, and we have a lot of chaos coins to pick up. So we were on 136. How many are we going to get up to with all of these goblins that we took down? So we have 495 chaos coins now, so not completely awful. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more decent rooms on this level to get better upgrades. Ideally, like I said, I would like that thistle bloom. I think it's thistle bloom main hand, because that will really make a difference in this build. It will just make things a lot easier to kind of CC all the mobs, and a lot faster to clear as well. We do have an updated older crystal offhand, so we're going to go for that as well. I'm going to make sure that I equip that now before we move on to the next room, just so that we know that we're going to get that little bit increased damage there as well. Unfortunately, we have another normal mob room with some blue elites. So again, not much benefit coming from this. Hopefully we will get a few extra chaos coins, which we have there. We've got some that have dropped from those blues. But you can see it's kind of quick to get through these rooms now. Again, I'm probably not going to go for these gear pieces. That's not the worst pants to go for, but I quite like the Frostwalker ones. But we will give this a try instead. So we're going to go for Frozen Wellspring, and that should work nicely with the Arcane Wind as well. So let's try this out on the next level and see if we get any better results. So back up to 659 chaos coins, and let's see what the Chaos Broker has this time. Are there any decent gear pieces? Let's just go for the Shard of Fortune again, and this helm looks quite good. There's no increase in damage though. Let's see if there's anything else here. I really loathe using chaos coins to refresh it. Coat of the Astrum again, but there's no increase in that. But we do have the Thistle Bloom here, and this is 4 stars compared to 3-star all rustic. So we are going to go for this one. So this one, Arcane Wind now conjures a storm that grows over time, and this will actually suck in enemies as well as damaging them. So this one is much nicer to go for. So we are on level 9 of Fractured Plane now, so there's only a few more levels to go after this. As I said, there's 12 levels in total, and we have this summoner to try and beat. So obviously, unfortunately, Arcane Wind doesn't have the effect of crowd control on the boss monsters, but it does have crowd control on the summons that they bring up. So obviously some of these bosses, they will have summons that they regularly bring out, and so this will work nicely against that. You can see as well the effect from Meteor that we have now, so it basically drops like a kind of snowstorm, or these icy kind of meteors. It drops down in an area, and it does cover a larger area than the normal meteor as well. So, I mean, we're not taking the longest amount of time to take down the summoner. We've just had some bad luck in this run, I would say. And sometimes it can be hard to make a good build. Like a lot of the time, as I mentioned, I wouldn't have necessarily gone for these skills together. But that is level 9 cleared. Let's see what we've got the Chaotic Altar this time. Summons still 15% more damage. Damage taken decreased 20% is what we're going to go for. We don't have summons in this build, so that's no benefit to me whatsoever. Let's move on to level 10. So we just have 10, 11 and 12 to complete now. Are there going to be anything decent here? Yes, we've got Alder Crystal and we've got 4-star ones, so we're going to go for that for sure. And unfortunately, we still don't have enough Chaos Coins for anything else. We're looking quite good with our gear now. We have quite decent levels on all of those at 3 and 4-star. So you can see this arcane wind is really going to come into play nicely now with these mobs, because it's just going to basically suck all of them in, and it's going to make it much quicker, hopefully, to clear through all of these rooms as well. Room cleared, and let's take a look at the equipment rack again. Unfortunately nothing good, so let's go for chaos coins. So to be fair, I'm quite happy with the essences that we've got for these skills now, so I'll probably just try and collect more chaos coins to get higher quality versions of them if we actually can. Like I said at the start, the skills are not necessarily what I would choose to use together. This is working okay. You can see there, that's a perfect example of how this can work. But yeah, it's not necessarily the build that I would go for. I would have really liked to have seen teleport in this, because it's a little bit more like defensive, so that you can actually get away from the mobs. Obviously there's not really any way to escape, because you don't get the sprite spark essence, as I said, for the chest, so there's no kind of increased movement speed, and we've not had any movement buff from the chaos altars either. So yeah, without that, it's kind of a little bit slow to run. Like these runs would have been a lot quicker if we'd had some kind of increased movement speed from as I said, teleport, sprite spark, or even the blessing that gives that, and unfortunately we didn't get that at all. So level 10 is now completed as well, going for the chaos coins once again, and we're up to 827. Finally, we've got kind of a decent amount. We've got gear there, just double checking that it's the rubbish gear that we want to salvage, so that's given us a little bit more or a few more chaos coins as well. So let's see what the chaos broker has this time. Do the shard of fortune, because the gear just looks really low quality once again. And we're going to go for shard of fortune twice, because there's not really anything decent there. We're on level 11, and like I said, the essences that we've got equipped now I'm quite happy with. So this is nice, straight into a chaotic altar. Attack speed increased, continual damage, channel damage and precision ground damage increased, or dodge chance increased. We're going to go for attack speed increase, just because when we need to use our primary attack on the last level, because we will be against a boss again for level 12. So let's see if we can get the same result of this. So basically just throwing arcane wind out there, hitting with the ray of frost. And yeah, nice and easy, really, really easy to actually defeat the monsters now with this build that we've put together. So as I said, it's not necessarily what I would have put together. Let me know what you would do. Also, let me know if you'd like me to do Fractured Plane again, but with like the worst build that we can come up with. So like using essences that really do not work, or using essences that only kind of stack on the same skill. Let me know if you want me to do a video for that, because it might be a little bit fun. That didn't seem to be very many rooms on this level, but that is level 11 completed, and we're on to the final level. Again, it doesn't look like there's anything decent there, so we're just going to head straight through to the boss room. We only have 300 chaos coins anyway, so not really enough to do much with. And we have the Flayed as the boss here, so obviously this is going to be poison attacks to avoid, and there will be summons as well to avoid from this boss too, so Arcane Wind will hopefully help with that. Unfortunately I threw my Arcane Wind a little bit too soon, but the mobs did get taken down really quickly from that Lightning Nova skill. As I said, I definitely am going to try that out in a build and see how it works with the new essences for Lightning Nova as well. So I'll use that on the chest, and then we'll try something different on buffing Lightning Nova as much as possible. I think it's quite a strong skill at the moment. It's giving quite a lot of damage when you test it out of test dummy with the new essences for Lightning Nova. So yeah, I'd definitely be interested to try it out with this chest as well and see what we can get from that. So just trying to avoid these attacks from the Flayed, not doing like a huge amount of damage. It's nothing groundbreaking, as you can see. Ray of Frost we don't have any kind of buff on other than the helm, so that's just increasing the range. There's no increased damage on Ray of Frost, unfortunately. We couldn't get any essences to kind of help with that. And like I said, unfortunately you do get unlucky with the essences that it offers you in Fractured Plane. But that is it, level 12 completed, and Fractured Plane was a success. So in total it took 18 minutes and 59 seconds. The fastest I've done this in before is around about like 12-13 minutes. It just depends how lucky you get with the levels, what you get on each level as well. Sometimes you get a lot of chaotic altars. So these are where you collect the rewards. You just go back to the start and you've got some mystery legendary items here. So those I will save, and then you can select 6 items here. I'm just going to go for the first 6 because I've got all the essences anyway, and it will pick one of your picks at random. So we've got this offhand. Unfortunately, it's not an increased stats or anything. And then you get the Fractured Plane rewards from the event center as well, so we're just going to collect those. So complete this twice fully and you will gain all the rewards. So you can do this easily in half an hour, 40 minutes. But that is it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, a little bit longer than what I would normally do. But thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.